guys, it's public knowledge that Armie Hammer has a lot of degenerate kinks in the bedroom already, but one of his recent flings decided to come out of the woodwork and tell us some more details about their sex life. And in the process, she's really only embarrassed herself. Armie Hammer, it's no secret that he has a cannibal fetish, that he fantasizes about barbecuing women's ribs and, you know, eating their hearts by ripping them out of their chests and stuff like that.
We got a $20 one here from Tacty Platy. He says, my PCC lords and ladies, you ask and you shall receive. Meme tweet from Greta tagged you in just now, Brett.
No. Okay, look
check
that up and see what she said.
Keep going.
Yeah, so TMZ reported this. Armie Hammer's recent fling dishes on his bedroom kinks. She recently made an appearance on a podcast that, I'm not kidding, is called This Is the Worst Podcast. And it says, while things between the sheets were consensual between them, she's absolutely not negating the other accuser's experiences because she too was disturbed by his actions, despite the fact that she chose to sleep with him and wasn't put off by his weird kinks.
Here it is, ladies and gentlemen.
No. Okay, I thought that he meant that Greta Gerwig actually responded.
No, he made it for me. Thank you, my friend.
Yay!
Yes, go!
I love it. So she's saying that he never did anything predatory when they were together.
But she also goes out of her way to be like, but that doesn't mean it didn't happen to these other
she's like,
women.
I'm perfectly willing to believe that this guy I had consensual sex with was a possible rapist.
But I
still chose to sleep with him.
Yes.
So let's take a look at this video of them on the pod.
From the TMZ.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Here we go, guys.
What's tricky about him was he was very open about everything. Anytime I had a question about anything, about the cannibalism, about all the stuff in the media, he was
like,
very
so let's talk
willing
about
to
the
talk
cannibalism.
about
So this
it.
was after
You
the
know,
cannibalism.
like I immediately was like, we are gonna obviously have to talk about the cannibalism. What's up with that? And the way he explained it to me is he said it's a cycle of completion. So he's like, I'm inside of you. I want you to be inside of me. And I'm like,
Nom,
Jesus.
nom, nom.
yeah, could I just
the
put a
worst
finger
thing
in your
ever.
butt?
Why do you have to eat somebody? My lord.
I'm like, do you need my McRibs? Because I feel like
Bro.
I feel like if it's a cycle of completion, we could do it.
He's
a
like,
different
no,
way.
I need to eat you and literally shit you out. Like, I need to get constipated on your flesh. Like, what is that?
Yeah, I mean,
And also nasty. Like, did he say like he actually eat people's like skin, or like what did he say?
no. He does this biting thing where it's like he will push it to the limit with biting. He will go as hard as you let him go with biting.
Did he make you bleed?
No.
Okay.
Because I wouldn't let him. It would get really fucking hard and I'd be like, stop, and he would stop. So in my experience, there was no, I was consensual with everything that was going on. And when I told him to stop, he would stop. So I didn't have the same experiences
As other girls.
As the other girls.
Right.
Not negating any of their experiences or taking it away or saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying my experience was different.
But you were branded by him,
Oh, yeah.
which is something that he did to all the other girls, and then he's
Yeah.
all telling you he's recovered, and then he's like, hey, gotta give you a tattoo. Sorry, it's part of the thing.
Yeah.
You get my penis and a tattoo. Like,
So this is like my bad in not noticing a red flag. You know, I'm a Taurus. I'm a bull.
You love a red flag.
I love a red flag.
You see a red flag and you're like,
getting
"Olé."
So the first night we did hang out, he did give us tattoos.
Brittany, the first night? Bitch, I thought this was after a couple weeks.
They're on my hand. They're cute.
Is that both? He gave you more than one? All those little ones?
Yeah. He was just doing stick and poke. Okay, so it did escalate over the time that he was staying with this guy he was sober companioning. He did order a tattoo gun and he started tattooing strangers. He was like calling it Cannibal Ink. I
Are
think
you
he thought-
serious?
Yeah, he thought he was like being funny, and I'm like, maybe don't lean into that. Maybe don't. But yeah, we got matching tattoos the first night, which
Okay.
Is that the
So much to unpack.
I was in a dark place.
She was in a dark place.
She was in a dark
there you
place,
go.
and she's a Taurus, so, you know, like, she's a Capri Sun, and that just comes with the territory. And yeah, like that was my problematic fling or whatever.
Yeah, and they got matching tattoos on the first night they hung out
Wow.
together, but he's the weirdo. He's weird.
Like, how
Not
are you
her.
any less degenerate and weird and a red flag for
Because to women like
engaging
this,
in this?
Because to women like this, the world happens to them, not of their own volition.
Right. Oh, that's such a
Absolute
good point.
state of modern women. And what is, what is private anymore? What is meant to be discretionary
The only
anymore?
reason I even thought it would be interesting to talk about this is I just imagined, like, there are things that you don't need to share.
Yeah.
Like, right? Like,
I mean, I just see women posting their L's constantly. They cannot help themselves from posting their
They're
L's.
addicted
And
to the
like,
clout.
you hooked up with a celebrity, so maybe you, in your deranged mind, think that this makes you look cool. But it's incredibly embarrassing, not even for him, because his stuff was already out there. Like, that was already
Right.
public. The text logs of his sexting with other girlfriends are already out there, published. You're actually just embarrassing yourself now.
She actually does him more of a service than herself, because she says everything was consensual, and when I asked him to stop, he stopped, which means, he
you
behaved within the realms of, like, look,
Yeah.
different people will have different ideas of where sexuality between two people will go, right? Everyone's got their limit, and it is not uncommon for couples or people in a relationship to pursue those boundaries, find them, stop when you reach them. Fine. Perfectly normal. Fine, whatever. But that doesn't mean you need to go and talk about it. That's freaking weird.
Yeah.
on a podcast and have it published on TMZ.
And then he's over here like he should just start having NDAs.
Yeah, if he didn't already, this should be the time to do that. And I'm not saying one way or the other that I believe his Me Too accusations, but
Bro,
if I were like, thinking about who I'm gonna date, I don't think I would choose the guy who has Me Too allegations of being a violent rapist. Like, that would be probably a red flag. I wouldn't
Also
really
remember-
want to be in a room alone with that guy.
Also remember that ladies will blame their water sign before they will actually hold themselves accountable for anything on planet Earth, because she's a Libra, right? So
She's a Taurus.
Whatever
She's a
the
Taurus.
whatever the fuck it was, that's why it happened. She did this because she was born on a certain day in a certain month.
Yeah. Stop letting women get away with that.
Remember,
Stop letting women tiptoe their way out of
Women will say
responsibility.
shit like this and then wonder why we've placed limitations on their sovereignty through all of humanity.
I feel like you
Literally.
say that on every show I'm on.
Women say
But I
shit like
agree,
this
dang it.
and wonder why we place limitations on their sovereignty through all of human history. But it's not just women who are doing this. I also saw that Amy Robach and TJ Holmes of former Good Morning America fame are talking about their sex life publicly.
Why?
Yeah. So this was an infamous story where they both cheated on their spouses with each other and then got divorces. Now their ex-spouses are dating each other as a revenge plot. And Page Six reported that they are candidly detailing their sex life and intimacy preferences. It says, there's a lot in the bedroom and out of the bedroom that you aligned on. You both enjoy sex more than foreplay. You're both super into post-workout sex and shower sex. The host attested that the duo were not boring, and he shared that they prefer cuffs over ropes in the bedroom.
Now, if only
By
they
the
were-
way, these guys are in their 50s.
And also,
They are in their
they were
50s.
into just about every type of sex except with this person they were actually in a relationship with. That is the problem here also.
Right, yeah, and they expect to put this all out there in the public eye and not get criticized for
This
it.
is most
because that would be shaming.
This
That would be
is
slut shaming.
mostly also like again, this is mostly these are women that want to know this stuff. Whenever these topics come up, I'm always kind of shocked because I just would never seek out this information, and I guess it's because women are more communal and like to talk about this type of stuff. It is the irony of the meme, like men only want one thing and it's disgusting, but it's just not something dudes like. I'm just not.
But what
having
is
these
TJ
conversations.
Holmes, the guy, thinking about all of this getting displayed publicly?
Yeah, like.
Like,
I don't
you've
know.
gotta be
It's just
seriously
super
out of your
getting, like-
mind.
But guys, that's not the grossest one.
It's not.
It's
Okay.
not.
So Jane Seymour has also recently done an interview where she said at age 72, she's having a more passionate sex life than ever with her boyfriend, who is 73. Quote, "Your sex life doesn't need to end at 60. And this is an essay for Cosmopolitan's Sex After 60 issue. She said, "Sex right now is more wonderful and passionate than anything I ever remember because it's built on trust, love, and experience. I now know myself and my body, and John has had his own experiences in his life. It's not like when you're younger. Your sex life doesn't need to end at 60. At the end of the day, everyone is looking for something that puts blood into a certain area." What the fuck are you saying?
Because that's what happens when you have sex when you're 73.
Ew.
From what I've heard.
Ew.
Ma'am, that's just a tear.
No one is telling you that your sex life needs to end at 60. We're just telling you to stop talking about it. We're just telling you to stop publicizing details of it because we are grossed out at just the thought. Ew. No. And they're talking about it in such clinical terms while at the same time saying that they have such enjoyable sex lives. Like, you're talking about it like, I don't know, like
you're teaching an anatomy and sexuality class.
like you're playing pickleball or something.
There's a $20 one here from Disco Jensen says, "These people are trying to live out the soaps their mothers watched." Also, it is fair to point out that the number one consumers of anything that has to do with grape fetishes are women. Women are the ones that are into that stuff, not the dudes.
Yes, the statistics
Not the dudes,
do
okay?
bear that out.
It's weird, and it's again, like maybe I'm just on the outside looking in here, but whenever I see these types of articles, I just wonder who the people are that click on these. Like, it's just weird.
I mean, if the phenomenon continues, it must be gaining a lot of traction.
I mean, it's not just this.
I just think some things should be private. Wasn't that always the conservative argument? Like, I don't care what goes on in your bedroom as long as it stays there and isn't, on the streets in pride parades or on magazine covers or whatever. But that was never an option. They always wanted to shove sexuality and the graphic details of it in everyone's faces.
I can't with the... okay, actually, never mind. I've changed my mind. As weird and as gross as that is, I'd still rather hear about that than about how being a Libra or a whatever made you have sex with a guy who claims to be a cannibal.
Watching that clip, definitely shortened my lifespan.
I'm just imagining she's like, well, imagine you're she's like, yes, and then the man offered me can in his van with no windows. And I was feeling my Libra energy that day. You know how much Libras love candy. So I got in the van with the total stranger and proceeded to get, whisked away to some hell house. Just come on, dude.
People will buy that though. People won't put as much responsibility on others as they deserve. Yeah, specifically women, but also Alec Baldwin kind of comes to mind too, in terms of people not taking accountability and responsibility for their actions, but. More commonly, obviously, it's women, especially women like that.
For the record, Sarah has dabbled in crystal chick behavior before.
I have.
She has.
Are we going to get into this right now?
She has
We
covered.
can get all up in it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
When did you retire these practices?
In the last year, especially when I started going more towards Christianity.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And, did you see any benefits from, spirituality practices when you were doing that stuff?
So I think that people are drawn to it because there is a lack of religion, and because religion is demonized and kind of made fun of in a way, it's not considered cool.
It also gives answers to things that a lot of things in life are just inexplicable. There are just going to be things that there are going to be no answers for. And the idea that you're going to get easy answers from a star chart is probably very enticing to some people.
Yeah. My idea about it was just that women want to have control over their relationships. So if they can, theoretically use astrological charts and manifesting and The Secret and all of these other things, to do that, then it's very enticing. It's hard to resist for them. Mm-hmm. They want to control social interactions and they want to cast spells and stuff like that.
It gets weird. It definitely gets a little bit weird. I think for some people also, it's guidance. So if they weren't raised again with some kind religion is a lot more stable and all the questions have already been answered. So for me, astrology just kind of like got to that point where I was like, not all of these questions can be answered anymore for me. And it just wasn't as stable as, or like all encompassing as God. So that's why, you know,
Reeling it
I'm
back.
a former crystal chick. Yeah. All right. Let's get back to it.
I want to reiterate my point from yesterday about the sexual revolution. Everyone was free to do whatever they wanted with their sexuality before the sexual revolution. You were allowed to sleep around with every guy. You were allowed to get pregnant out of wedlock, and you could be a prostitute. And I guess the only difference now is that instead of being prostitutes, women are just giving it for free at this point, which is more embarrassing. The only difference back then was that those behaviors were socially shamed and people would frown upon your actions. What the sexual revolution was about, I guess, then, is just, you know, coercing other people into emotionally validating you for your bad decisions. It was not a sexual revolution, but like a validate my feelings about the bad decisions I'm making revolution.
Right.
Because I can't handle feeling shame.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.